Russia has unleashed one of the largest aerial assaults of the war, firing nearly 90 missiles and 600 drones across Ukraine, with Kyiv taking the heaviest hit. Homes, schools, and cultural sites were struck, leaving civilians dead and injured. Ukraine calls it terror. Moscow calls it retaliation. But the West is reacting with outrage. European leaders are now calling this a direct campaign against civilians. From the Baltics to Central Europe, governments say Russia is targeting cities to compensate for battlefield setbacks. The language is hardening fast, with multiple countries warning this is a dangerous and deliberate escalation of the war.
Russian strikes continue to target civilian objectives in Ukraine, as they did again this night. France condemns this attack and the use of the Oreshnik ballistic missile, which, above all, signal a kind of headlong rush and the impasse of Russia's war of aggression.
The European Commission says the scale and brutality of the attack reflects desperation, not strength. Brussels is now preparing additional support for Ukraine, especially to reinforce its air defense systems, as concerns grow that Russia is intensifying attacks on civilian infrastructure to break morale.
Russia's massive attack on Ukraine last night shows the Kremlin's brutality and disregard for both human life and peace negotiations. Terror against civilians is not strength, it's despair.
Germany and EU officials are raising alarm over the use of the Oreshnik ballistic missile, a system capable of carrying nuclear warheads. Leaders say this is more than escalation, calling it a signal of strategic intimidation that pushes the conflict into far more dangerous territory.
In the night leading into Pentecost Sunday, Russia massively attacked civilian targets in Ukraine. Once again, the Oreshnik missile system was deployed in the process. The federal government sharply condemns this reckless escalation. Germany continues to stand firmly at Ukraine's side.
Russia hit a dead end on the battlefield, so it terrorizes Ukraine with deliberate strikes on city centers. These are abhorrent acts of terror meant to kill as many civilians as possible. Moscow reportedly using Oreshnik intermediate-range ballistic missiles, systems designed to carry nuclear warheads, is a political scare tactic and reckless nuclear brinkmanship.
Global allies are joining Europe in condemning the strikes, with countries like Canada warning that attacks on civilians will only deepen Russia's isolation. Calls are growing for stronger sanctions, more weapons for Kyiv, and a coordinated effort to increase pressure on Moscow.
Canada strongly condemns Russia's launch of large-scale missile and drone attacks on civilian targets in Kyiv tonight. They prolong human suffering and do nothing to change the fact that Russia will lose this war. Canada will continue working closely with international partners to secure a just and lasting peace for Ukraine and Europe.
EU foreign ministers are now preparing to step up international pressure on Russia, while Ukraine is urgently pushing for stronger air defense, especially against ballistic threats. The West is closing ranks, vowing continued support, as this war enters a more dangerous and unpredictable phase.